Welcome in, everyone. We are still playing Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot and Fellow Traveler. Hiding Spot being the developer, Fellow Traveler being the publisher, and it's a small little indie game, choose your own adventure game, all about making choices. Not always because you have all the choices, but because you can make all the choices in the end. We were on chapter 4. But we've been to chapter 4, I think, another time. So let us check. We cannot check our charms or our progress. So let us continue with the story until we can check those things. But yes, welcome in. Last we left off, we'd done a couple of things. We've learned that Beacon Pines is all about the small town of Beacon Pines, where they, at one point, they were a farming community that had a fertilizer company at the center of the industry of the town. But something went wrong, and a harvest went really terribly, and this town has been struggling ever since. A new company has come into town to try and revitalize the place, and someone has started tinkering or taken over for some reason, the old fertilizer warehouse outside of town. And strange things have been happening. We've actually managed to find a couple of terrible ends. If you want to know what happened and catch up, feel free to jump over to my YouTube page and check out the VOD. But until then, let's continue the story from where we're at, shall we?
Dinner with the Moodwills.
Oh, we made a new friend, Bex. We're about to meet her parents. Well, we've met her parents, but we're about to have dinner with her parents. Poor Luca has no idea what he's getting into.
Ilona Moodwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates.
It's possible, Trav. I've never played through this game in its entirety, so we're about to get into the part where I have not seen.
Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
So, Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandmother. I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river? Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners. It's all right. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd have put more effort into dinner.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled in. Beck had mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry. Are we just skipping the part where he said his mom was missing? Beck! I'm sorry, Luca. This move has us all a little tired.
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So, Beck said you moved here for work?
Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Ow! I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We are here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her their newest lead researcher of deep engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture. It is something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luca, is there are different ways to grow plants. Yeah, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't!
Beck slammed her fist into the table, perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luca! How about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rolo soon.
Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Uh-oh. Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza. It was really good. See you at the festival, Beck. Wait up. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rolo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rolo would warm up to her eventually, probably.
Uh-oh. We got rumble and we got break. Rumble and break. So, chat, let us see what the poll has for us today, shall we? Let us. I'll just do a quick 1-minute poll. So while the poll is running, feel free to go to the top of chat, click on the poll, put in your votes, duke it out with channel points if you like. But it's just going to be a quick poll, and we'll see what you guys decide that the clouds do, if they rumble or if they break. It is a choice to make. Last chance to get your votes in. Do it quick, do it quick. And of course, if there is a tie, I will break it, because that's my job. I get to push the buttons. And of course you give me a tie. Of course you give me a tie. My chat loves to tie up the vote, just to make me make decisions. Well, I feel like it's more ominous if it rumbles rather than if it breaks. So we're gonna go with rumble, because I am the tiebreaker, and you can't make me do otherwise.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can't make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here, and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold! Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. Well, we get to check things out now. Time to eat the everything.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Oh, wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. Mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent. New charm, new charm.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they were really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So, you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest, that hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Doesn't ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little: don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. Gotta do something. anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, something gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Arrgh.
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow. I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks. I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in.
Aw, friends forever, you
Chapter
guys.
5.
Friends forever. Oh, I like Beck. I like Beck a lot.
Friendly feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rolo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rolo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Catch up with Rolo at the treehouse. Alright, so, as promised, we're gonna check out the tree. This is what it looks like now. So this is the very beginning where we've done all the choices we can. We went to this branch and we had gone through the choices. We originally went up here and, well, it didn't turn out so well on either of these branches. But we only had a single choice there. We tried both of those choices and neither of them worked out for us. So we're over here now. We've tried both of these choices and only struggle worked out for us. We've tried Rumble. We're not sure where it leads quite yet, but the branch is ever continuing onward because this is a game about choices and eventually you get to do them all, even though it's a choose your own adventure game. So let's see where this leads us, shall we? Now, choices are made because we have charms. And these are our packet of charms. And there's more to find still, so let's hope we can find them all. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna, check out all the things that I can, chew through the scenery until we find clues and charms and anything else we can find. Oh, and one of our favorite characters is coming up. Hey, Dawn. Tracking down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance. There were conditions. Like what? The document stipulated that Eris had to take a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo! So Eris was forced to take care of him? Yup, or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains the way Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, Luca. Well, poor Solomon indeed. Chewing through the scenery. Oh. These are glowing. That does not at all bode well. I better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. Well, it was our chance to check it out. Well, no one was around, but apparently we're not gonna take that chance. He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! This is no time for fractured friendships. She's definitely reading this book. I better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. Okay. Just trying to find anything. Anything and everything. Alright, nothing else here. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir. Very much, sir. Do you want me to tell the town that we failed them? No. That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm when we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good. Then it's decided. Yes, sir. We'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. Well, that's not terrifying or anything. Anything in the trash? No. Anything in these boxes? No. We could still be cool over here. Okay, cool. Checking. Nothing. We could go fishing. We have some new stuff, so we could see if there's new bait. Pungent is new.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
I mean, I suppose thyme can be considered pungent. Time for a timepiece. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way. Property of Sharper Valentine. We've written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. The man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Looks like we could use some new bait. What do you say we head out and find some more? Well, we haven't gotten all the bait yet. Rolo, are you still up there? I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason? I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar. You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried. So I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, That storm rolled in out of nowhere and I got stuck in after dinner at Beck's.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you. And you were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rolo. Yeah, I agree, Winterfairy. Frickin' hyena indeed. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise. But you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
I told you that alligators reading this book means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you. But I kept my word. 'Cause that's what friends do. Oh, wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your Gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as late as you want, and you wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. That's what you think. Then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rolo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa is right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa is still around.
The words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, Good night, Rolo. Dang it. I know it wants me to go to bed, but I'm going to chew the scenery and see what else I can find. Gran's still not in her bed.
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Found a soccer ball. Nice. Rolo. What a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Oh, I'm Rolo. Look at me and my amazing family. We gonna break something with this soccer ball? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Can I leave the room? If Rollo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he can shove it. Okay. Well. Are we tuckered out yet? I guess so. I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Oh no. Oh no. No, don't cry. Rollo was being an insensitive jerk. Luca. Luca?
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Alright, what can we find? I bet Rollo's still going to go to the festival. Humph. He's gonna be miserable. Okay, that's all we got there. Rollo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him. He can shove it. Okay, haven't finished whatever it is that I was supposed to do in this room, I guess. I don't seem to be able to break anything with the soccer ball. You'd think that I would have knocked down, like, everything. Okay, then.
Luca dozed off again.
Luca, I didn't see you eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rollo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So, your plan is just to sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Noted.
Luca still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
Alright, anything new? No. Anything new there? No. Gran's bed is still made. Nothing new here. There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. Ooh. Haha, yeah, I know.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
The complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday. A special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modwell? She said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh, she seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. All right, then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source. Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Mom? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his Gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo fought about doesn't matter. But he...
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights happen between friends. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. Mm-hmm. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. We got acceptance. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss out on that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. All right. I love you, Luca. I love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6.
Well, a day of pouting, and now it's time for the festival. Goodness gracious, twists and turns. Twists and turns.
Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rolo.
Can we go back in the house? We sure can. Let's see if there's anything here that we need to find. Because remember, we're still looking for charms. So I'm gonna eat the everything, the beautiful art of this game for a little bit. And check all the places. Uh-oh. Don't leave that open. No, no, no. Well, nothing here. What about the back garden? Look, we are a lovely young man who has much energy to spare, and, well, nothing there. Can we go upstairs? Can. Locked door. Locked door. Is our soccer ball still out? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Can we just go back to bed? No. The game's like, no, you will progress. Cannot sleep it all away. Alright, well, we had a dream about Dad, so let's go see what Dad is up to. Anything here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, we've dawdled enough. Whee! you are. Luca. Rolo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between the you two, squash it. A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. That's the library if I ever heard a riddle. We'll get there eventually, but we're gonna, check everything out. Oh my. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an exuve. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion at the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not. Can we buy drinks? Can we get drinks? No? No drinks? Okay. Oh no, it's the clipboards. Welcome to our festival! Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. Oh boy. There's a little plant. Unique New York. Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech.
Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gab box. You nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break a leg. I did not catch that one, so we're just gonna ignore it. Another clipboard. You can't seem to get access to. Maybe... Nope. Can't seem to talk to that one. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy. And this season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fitz. I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Oh, Fitz. We can still lean coolly over here. Can we go this way? We can. Did you hear? After Mr. Kerr gives his big speech, they're gonna have the first annual Biggest Catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. We did get something new. Do we have new bait? Let's find out, shall we? Actually, we can just ask Dad. Nope. No new bait. What did we get? Yeah, nothing new.
Luca rapped at some fish half.
Nothing new. Well, we tried. He's not gonna be here, but we're gonna check it anyways for anything that might be new. Hey, look, it's the soccer ball, but we can't seem to kick it this time. Anything new here? Nope. Alright. I knew he wouldn't be here, but I figured I would try. Ain't moving. And he hasn't. Haha, every single time. Yup. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Ha ha. Oh, Izzy, if you only knew.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey, Jeff. Everything all right? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
They even put balloons on the trash cans. How ridiculous. All right. A most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest, but I must admit they do put on a nice party. Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying? I wanted to see what all the festival fuss was about. But I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True. So what you got in there? Books. I was able to return Perennial Harvest's safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't gonna harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. Yikes. Yikes. Still the same. Hey, Luca. So you're done at the library? Huh? Oh, nothing.
Griffin looked away suspiciously.
Nothing at all. Oh, I know where we're going next. Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census taking. Emergency services. Run, kid, run. Yeah, we've seen that. Nothing's changed there. Alright, cool. Okay, we've been there. Hi, Luca. How's Griffin doing? What? Oh, Nothing?
Zariel became flesh.
Just pretend I didn't say anything. It's like the whole town knows something that Luca doesn't. No, it's definitely Rollo and his sister.
I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival's for?
The way I figure it, Perennial Harvest is trying to win over the town. Like a bribe, but with balloons.
Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first, too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor?
A special guest? Who?
I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal.
Could PH possibly stand for Perennial Harvest? Anything over there? No. Anything over here? No. Can we get into the diner? No. Okay, well, onward. The library. Somewhere quiet. Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, nothing else in this map. Time to go to the library. Anything new here? Nah. Anything new here? Chewing the scenery. Nope. Anything new here? Nope. Hi, Jace. Still working through the newest Hankatomic? You know it. Some fascinating canning towards the end. Did you know that Hankatomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything. Oh. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else? Bingo. That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Oh, right. Sorry.
Hey, Luca!
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle.
The first?
Oh, you didn't think that was all there. That was all, did you?
Rollo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
On Planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you?
No, it's okay. Let me figure it out.
Alright then, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want the hint, the offer still stands.
On Planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hankatomic, issue number 4, from the shelf.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me, or just grab a different one.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hankatomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
I'm thinking it's the fifth one, yeah. But let's see
Luca
what they
grabbed
have.
Natural Photography, volume 5, from the shelf.
Ah. We must consider the riddle in full.
Luca grabbed the Modern Science of Atomic Radiation from the shelf. Luca grabbed the 5 Pillars of Success from the shelf. Luca grabbed The Issue with Self-Help, a helpful guide, from the shelf. Luca grabbed 500 meals for one big pot from the shelf.
All right, let's... On planet Farpole, you may take issue when the 5th king dies. You'll need a tissue.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the shelf. Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
I'm gonna go with what Winter Fairy says.
Ah! You found it!
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted with this entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rolo. Now, let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a gift.
He continued flipping.
Only found in... Grub. Cart.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it.
Grift. In. Grub. Cart? Grifton. Griffin! Griffin's grub cart! He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand.
Ah! Brilliant! I guess you're off then. Good luck with the rest of the scavenger hunt.
Thanks, Kato. What would the game be without a good treasure hunt, right? Are we gonna get any hints from misreading the book that we're reading? No.
Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo come?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it?
Bought and paid for. Enjoy!
I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck! It's cold.
Oh yeah, it's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure that to give you that one specifically.
Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come on.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
This is getting to be a whole thing.
A pickup when you need some pep near the fountain up the step. The coffee shop? It's like we went to all the places that we would find Rolo before we found the trail that would lead us there. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rolo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. Hard. Hard muscle? That's kind of cute. Ugh, I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. Good luck, Luca. Balloons. Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said. But here, you've earned this.
Rolo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Well, balloons, they take flight, but they don't have wings. Thanks. You didn't have to go through all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Let me just do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rolo. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff with clipboards? The clipboards? Apologies, my tongue got away from me. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait 1 more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. What about Beck, guys? What about Beck? I don't know. I can't talk to the sister again, so I guess we're on our way. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your grand this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rolo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
Well, that's not foreboding, now is it? What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go through all that trouble just to apologize. She's run off to join the circus? Maybe, Trav, maybe. I know, but we've been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth. This was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo.
Luca was at a loss for words. But that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Aw, man, we missed the fireworks?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Oh no.
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
And now we get to go back in time. To find where we have extra options. Take care, Winter Fairy. Please give your love and my love and chat's love to your munchkins. Both of them. It looks like that in this branch we have flight instead of fight. And over here we have break instead of rumble. So, weather, we can continue going down this path to see what there is. Or we can go back to MCDC, where poor Izzy is a little bit mutated, and see what happens there if we run away. Choices. I kind of want to see what happens here. I kind of want to see what the difference between rumble and break is. So let's go back a little bit in time and see what more this path, this branch, can offer us. But the tree is coming along beautifully, if you ask me.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rolo.
You're not going home?
No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him about...
Lucas stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you gotta tell me.
Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened.
Heck yeah.
Lucas saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place?
It's mostly boring and empty.
I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me!
What did you do?
First of all, I told you so. Second, hide.
That's Eris Valentine.
Who's she talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. Couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff.
Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday.
Seriously? Shh. Crystal Manster, welcome in. The tallest among us all. Yeah, not so much. But welcome in. We're playing Beacon Pines. This is a choose your own adventure story where the narrator is voiced and I do all the rest of the voices. We'll see how long my voice holds up. Lots of things have happened, but we are in the town of Beacon Pines. A factory explosion at the fertilizer facility 6 years ago took out our father. And we, Luca, the main character here, who is a little deer boy, has been kind of looking into it ever since his mother went missing a few months ago. So we made a new friend, Beck the cat, and we're seeing some shady stuff that's been going on. But the most interesting thing about this particular game, by Hiding Spot and Fellow Traveler, is that you get to choose all of the choices in the end, not just go down a path and start from the beginning. So it's very interesting. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything? I wouldn't expect anything less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Family.
A chill ran down Lucas' spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival.
I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5.
Dragon! Dragon, you brought a raid! Well, welcome in, raiders! I'm May, if you didn't already know, and we are playing Beacon Pines by Hidden Spot and Traveling Follower, I think is the publisher. Anyway, unofficial dragon raid! Woo! Hi Dee! Welcome in, raiders. Feel free to sit back, relax, enjoy. If you need to lurk, by all means. I know that post-stream, sometimes you need to step away, take care of the post-stream self-care. Wouldn't let me send an official raid, so we're sending an unofficial raid. Oh, don't you worry about that, Dragon. I don't know why that should be. I have raids on and everything, but I'll check my settings for next time. Dragon Raid Shadow Legends. Well, Dragon is an awesome person, but we're not exactly in Shadow Legends sphere. You know you've got it made when they want to advertise on your stream, but I don't think either of us are quite that lucky as of yet. Maybe someday, right? But yeah, we're playing a Choose Your Own Adventures called Beacon Pines. Crazy stuff is happening, so feel free to settle in and enjoy the ride. The only voice acting in this is the narrator, and I have been doing all the rest of the voices, so please forgive me if my voice gets crazy. Did you really? Wow. Dang, Dragon. Lucky you. I've really never had anyone ask to advertise on my channel. Of course, I'm a tiny potato in comparison, so... Anyway, we've reached chapter 5 once again, because the most interesting thing about this particular Choose Your Own Adventure story is you get to choose all the choices. The game doesn't start until you've seen it all, or doesn't end, I should say, until you've seen all the endings. So we're going to continue on with whatever craziness is going down. The main character, Luca, just found out that his grandmother is up to no good. Oh no. I have no idea, Dragon. I wish you luck in that arena. Depending on how long ago it was, you may have lost the chance, but, inquire. Maybe it's still there. I don't know.
What big ears you have.
Ooh, that's a Little Red Riding Hood reference. Well, I suppose it's a reference to the big bad wolf, really. Dee, you are welcome to invite however many people you want to come and tag along for the rest of the story. But, yes, I just have a little baby channel. Just a little baby channel. I've been streaming for roughly a year now, so, like, still in my infancy here. Whereas Dragon's been streaming for quite a bit longer than me. So, as have you, I believe, Dee. You guys are bigger streamers than me. So any help you can send my way, I would love. Really, I would. But what big ears you have. We shall continue on with chapter 5.
Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet.
Thank you, Dragon.
After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
I know, Crystal Mancer, you've been lovely. We always love to see you here. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. Oh wow, Dee, you're not even all that much older a channel than me. I'm impressed. Your channel is awesome. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay, well... I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. All right, so we have a quest. So for those people who are new, this is our quest log. These are our charms. They're also our choices, and for the mini games, either bait or options. Oops, we also have the book of branches, of which we are over here. We've seen where Rumble goes to, and it's a dead end. So we're on break now. We have all the check marks on the images means that we've been down that route. And flight over here is the only other option we have. But we're gonna continue around this branch for the time being and see where it leads us. So back to what we were doing. I'm gonna choose some scenery to see if there's any other things to find. And then we will be on our way to the treehouse. I very much doubt that, Dee, because you're wonderful. You're such a sweetheart. And I love to meet good humans and make friends along the way as well. So... more friends. Let's make more friends. Ooh, we can't go back there. Can we pick this that's glowing? No. Is there anything in the bushes? No. What about the bushes and the rock over here? Nope. Alright, onward. Oh no, the clipboards. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Oh, nothing new there. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark out now to be wandering on your own. Ooh, I botched that last one. Of course not. They don't have a box for it on the form. Clever, Trav, clever. Those clipboards, man, don't trust them. Anything here? Nope. Anything there? Nope. Ooh. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? We're pretty certain that this alligator and or crocodile lady is reading this book. Like, literally this book. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird, for sure. Well, customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. Those cool cats. Anything else going behind here?
I'd better not dilly-dally.
Gotta get to the treehouse. Okay. Let's see if we get that for every branch. Down here? No, this is still all fine. No touching. Oops. Well, it hasn't exploded yet, so... Sharper Valentine, a celebration in excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Sharper Valentine. Young Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck, a scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Capital Improvements Fund.
Yeah, nothing changed there. But the new people haven't seen it, and now they know about as much about Beacon Pines as we do. Alright, well, Dawn is out and about. Still locked. Still can't get back to the minigame. Well, onward. Anything to see here? No. Chewing on the scenery so I can find the secrets.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr lopped his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. He is up to something. Anything over here? Anything at all? Nope. Alright, time to go to the treehouse. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So, what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's... Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. It's kind of a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharp or Valentine or used as fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharp or Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed? How? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blames the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep. For some reason, their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative? Yup. First thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. Did we get new bait? Let's find out. Nope. No new bait. Okay. Bye-bye, Dad. Or rather, memory of Dad. And that's why Perennial Harvest is here, because this is interesting and they can do something with it. Yep, Trav, bingo. Now we see what the problem is. It's about time! I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Lavish. That's great. So, since you said something about not getting as big, which is absolute bullshit, by the way, I decided to share the stream with a couple of Discord servers. Hopefully they'll discover the awesomeness and like it. Aw, Dee. My goodness, that will help me out so very much. I thank you. You're the sweetest. Gosh, Dee. Now I'm blushing. And we all know how much Crystal Manster loves it when I blush. So, here we are. But yeah, it looks like we got a target, and the... Oh! I can pick up stuff out of the junk pile. Let's see. Ooh, that did not work. I can pick it back up. Whatcha? Nice. Okay, pick up the can. Whatcha? Ooh, that did not work. Whatcha? Ooh, okay. So long as we hit it anywhere, it's fine. Oh, and now it moves. Okay. Timing. Trav knows I have absolutely bullshit timing, so, this might take a moment, and I apologize that I am not a gamer. I am just a storyteller in need of a story. Get it. Yeah! Third time's the charm. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place?
There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks.
Junk food for junk. Nice. I really like Beck. Can I have the can? Alright. Ah. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit?
I'll vouch for her.
Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse. This was the branch where we went to the warehouse by ourselves.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there.
What were they doing?
I don't know, but the place was lit up and active.
Maybe they were squatters?
I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running.
A man pulled you in?
Yeah, but I got away.
You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right?
Yeah.
Then it could have been a woman? How'd you get away?
I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran.
Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma.
Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation at full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine?
Pretty much.
I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so, we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you.
First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged.
But she's definitely hiding something.
Maybe.
Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide?
I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in.
Moved in? Your gran isn't from here?
No, she came a few months back to take care of me after
his mom went missing. Did you know your gran before?
Not really, no. It's been years since I've seen her.
Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house.
If my gran is really hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now?
That's kind of the whole point of hiding something.
I guess you're right.
Exactly. How sure are we that she really is his gran? Exactly, Trav. That's what the logic is. No, kid, you never look at the closet.
Gran's been leaving for the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this.
I'm always game for a good snoop. Yeah, you can count me in.
Chapter 6.
We have once again reached chapter 6. Will this get us a bad end? I don't know, but let's find out, shall we?
Secret lair.
Ooh.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it?
Okay. Anything here? Oh, the last time we were on this branch, we were pouting all day, but this time, somebody's at the front door.
Rolo, what on earth is that?
Huh?
That ridiculous thing on your head.
Oh, this. It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear?
Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day.
Very well. The game is afoot. Someone's been reading Sherlock Holmes novels.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for.
Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence.
She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo.
Drat, I may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go?
Yeah, the closet upstairs.
So maybe it stands to reason we should check there first?
No dice, it's locked.
Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I am going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
So much evidence to burn. Oh, yes.
All right, Rolo. This is your time to shine.
Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work.
Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on.
This is beneath my standing.
Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random
As
teacup
Beck
and...
pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling? Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which do you think she is?
We're about to find out.
Okay, so more of the unhinged conspiratist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good.
We need to look around before jumping to conclusions.
Well, Gran has been hiding a secret basement. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive.
And jam jars?
That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making?
She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs. Right?
Only one way to find out.
Rolo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And... ink? What?
Rolo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rolo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mr. Fratelli.
A Grand Jam Graham?
It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location.
No worries, Dee. Mod away in another channel. We love you.
Thank you for the lurk. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go.
Aw, man, are they doing a heist?
Whatever it is, it can't be good.
So, more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here? Well, we know Mrs. Fratelli is in it, on it. We're a natural.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get a vibe.
Don't be ridiculous.
Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them.
Yeah, Mr. Uncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle.
My moms are both on here. Both with question marks?
Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark, but that's been crossed out.
Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim.
We don't know what any of this means.
Whatever it means, it's probably not good. Welcome in, viewers. Would love to have you. We're playing Beacon Pines, and I'm May, just in case you want to know. The only thing that is voice acted in this entire game is the narrator, so unfortunately, for all involved, I have to do the voices for everyone else. I hope it's not too terrible, but most of the characters are children, and the voices get a little silly. But we're just having some fun here. And trying to find out the mystery of Beacon Pines. Okay.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there?
It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files.
Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb. Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Aha! Here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. Now he describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exasperated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends.
What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see?
What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit!
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
I have a suspicion, chat. I have a suspicion. I don't think Gran is our Gran. I think Gran is our mom.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Thank you for the lurk, Dragon. Please take care of yourself, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.
Not every treasure map, not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo.
Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town, and if we follow it...
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
It leads right
He
to...
jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square?
That's the fountain in the middle of town.
What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure? A real bummer.
Rolo, what's that thing you've been excited about for the past month?
The festival! Gulp. Did you just say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Yeah, that goo warped one kid but aged another kid's hair. It's possible, I guess. Not convinced, though. I'm just saying I have a suspicion, Trav. We'll see if it pans out. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival.
Not if we stop her.
What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that?
No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh! Quiet!
Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo!
thump,
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
thump,
I'm just here to help.
thump,
Just...
thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rolo, don't. Nobody good ever says that they aren't here to hurt anyone. Yeah, no kidding, Trav.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me, but there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver!
Chapter 7.
Have we ever reached Chapter 7 before? Ooh, this is getting good, guys. Getting good indeed.
The interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair.
Excuse me, AVG. Rude.
His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Okay, so we get a choice. We can run the classic good cop, chill cop, or good cop, hard cop. We are gonna do a poll. New poll, new poll. All right, chat. There is now a poll at the top of the chat. Feel free to jump in and click on your choice. Feel free to duke it out with channel points if you feel the need, though I don't think we should fight over things. And whichever one wins is the one that I will choose. Now, eventually we'll come back here and probably take the other choice. But which one do we do first? Chill cop or hard cop? It's all up to you guys, and I would have it no other way, because that's how we play this game together, even though I'm doing most of the heavy lifting. However, if there does happen to be a tie, I will be the tiebreaker, because I'm the one who gets to push all the buttons. So try not to tie it for me, chat, because that's always the hard part. Last chance to get your votes in, so please, please, please click on the buttons as much as you wish. Remember, channel points can give you extra votes if you feel the need. So, what did chat decide? It looks like hard cop won. Congrats, chat. Thank you for not making me choose, because it's always so difficult to choose. And we shall continue on with the story. Appreciate you guys jumping in on the poll. Here we go.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, 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 Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now, hold on. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way. Or, well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk! Spill the beans! What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good
He
lord.
shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
Oh, they intimidated poor
Rollo
Mr.
swung
Tolliver
around with a repentant grimace.
until he fainted. Poor man. Damn, Rollo. I think he went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more relatable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Oh, I didn't have to walk all the way there. Nice. Bucket of cold water time. Yeah, sadly, these kids didn't think of that. This is a dang nice library.
Thanks, we work hard on it.
Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Aha, adorable.
Oh,
Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys.
I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes.
They got you working for free?
It's quiet and I can get access to all the books I can read. What more can a person want?
Fair enough.
What can I do for you all?
We need a favor.
I already told you and Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. If you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience.
Actually, we were looking to do some research.
Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for?
That's the thing. We sorta don't know. What do you got on the history of the town?
There's the county record archives.
What's in those?
Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8.
Wow, we got to a chapter 8. This is a long branch. Did we find the branch? And also, we've hit page 69. Nice.
6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop.
We have to keep digging.
If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. It won't be boring county records that kills you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try.
Hey! 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 We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck?
In the obit, J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago.
That can't be right.
What is it?
J. Hartford. That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford.
Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords?
Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor.
Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under 3 towns over...
Then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Trav, I think I'm right.
Alright, gang. I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it?
Almost 10.
Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick.
Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow.
What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement?
I'll think of something.
Wild day.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up and escaped from his bindings and left without a trace?
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay. I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. We just went to get a snack in the kitchen and then...
Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ?
Well, drugged. Maybe not poisoned. Maybe poisoned. Hard to say.
Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival!
Well, we're none the worse the wear for being drugged. Okay, we're strong enough to take on the world now. Let's go. Okay, she's not downstairs. Not in the backyard. Gran's not home. Let's go check Dad. Anything new? Hey, Dad. No, don't think so. Let's see. Where have you been?
Gran put something in the jam.
Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators.
Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep.
Whoa, ho, ho. Sly devil. Ooh. Charm.
I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything?
We looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech.
What speech?
Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and... I suppose you already know that. Oh yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be anywhere it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Round of applause, chat. Round of applause. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right. Where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone!
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Sure, didn't prepare anything. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I'm dang-gum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. That goo made people change. Is that really good? Yeah, exactly, Trav. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future that we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. Oh dear. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone, remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim,
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits! In ice, apparently.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time.
Oh yeah, Winter Fairy, this is not the first time we've frozen to an end. This is another terrible end.
The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Time to make different choices. So, the interrogation of Mr. Tulliver can go different ways. However, we could switch tracks entirely and try the route where Rollo did indeed follow us to the fertilizer warehouse, and Iggy, unfortunately got a little splashed with some goo after Rollo disappeared. We could attempt to run away from the clipboards rather than fight the clipboards that time round, changing the track entirely. Or we could continue along this route, which may or may not get us to the good ending. Because we have yet to find a good ending. We have failed and failed and failed and found many bad ends to this end. But we have more choices on how to change the interrogation than we do on how to help Iggy get away from the clipboards. So, chat. MCDC? Or A Beginner's Guide to Hostile Interrogation. Which branch of this tree shall we try to sort through next? Looks like Winter Fairy wants to do The Beginner's Guide to Hostile Interrogation. What does the rest of chat want? Let's be Chill Cop? We want to try to be Chill Cop? I mean, we've got choices between Chill and Sly. I could throw up a poll. We could be Art Cop next time and Paranoid Cop the time after. Wrong game. That's Disco Elysium. Which also is an excellent game. So, if you haven't seen my Disco Elysium playthrough, it's on my YouTube channel. Feel free to go check out that playlist. That was a fun time. Note to those who are new here, it's not for children. That game is not for children. Alright, we will attempt to try the Chill Cop and branch. They'd run the classic Good Cop, Chill Cop interrogation.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell run.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake.
Luca? What's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down?
No one's fault, really. Rolo just got a little startled.
Rolo's here.
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids give old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement?
I'm here to help, of course.
Help with what? What's my gran up to?
If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you.
How do I know that we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you?
No.
And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming?
Yeah?
So why would I turn my back on your family now?
It's just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes?
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives?
I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought
He
to...
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh?
Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Well, that didn't go well. Sly Cop? We're going Sly Cop? We're not a raccoon. Nor are we a thief. So I suppose that reference doesn't work very well, does it? And probably shows my age. It was a fun game. Alright. Time for Sly Cop. And we're off.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
Oh yeah, Beck's got this.
Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Modawill girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you down here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tulliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tulliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here
Beck
to...
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tulliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tulliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tulliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing. Really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in the Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tulliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tulliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tulliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard the password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meeting. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So you would be 21. N would be 14. D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo. That was incredible. Well, it's either that or Crichton's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Yeah, he's kind of a genius savant. But he's also kind of an idiot. The trio. Oh dear. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tulliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Okay then. Actually, since we have all three of them, I wonder what would happen if we... Okay. It only affects us. Got it. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh? What do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think...
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. But you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Oh yeah, he is a pawn. It's getting late, children. She walked this way? Did she go to Perennial Harvest? Weird. Where were we headed? Nuncreed's drugstore. Oops, wrong button. I do that every time. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Oh dear. Well, hello there, Solomon. What are you up to?
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say that licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. I mean, he is a Valentine, Winterberry. And he was raised, or is being raised by Eris, who is also a snob. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues.
Let's see.
Anything here? What about the alley? Nope. Bookstore's closed. Okay. I had a feeling. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad? Why would there be a blinky keypad? Creed's new rug store. I mean, underground secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
All right, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets.
Sounds like that did something? Great, now what?
I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing.
We have seen this before in a previous ending, but it was a bad end, so I wonder what this end will bring to us.
It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it! You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did! Didn't I say that?
No.
I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real?
Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic.
That's why I'm such a good predictor! It looks like each of these has something written on them. Well, 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 what have we here?
Mining Operations Alpha.
You guys have mines here? Not that I know of.
This town is all farms and fertilizer.
And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how this wisdom applies in this exact situation? That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late.
Perennial Harvest main office.
That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff.
Is she involved in all of this?
We just moved here. How could she be involved?
True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse.
Isn't that where you almost got snatched?
Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place?
This is starting to feel like something big.
This suit has a broken mask.
So we found our mysterious warehouse creeper?
We've at least found their hazmat suit.
If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
Just saying.
That's a lot of buttons.
Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rolo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that?
Hide!
Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit.
Shit.
Shit. Awesome! You all need to come with me now.
We aren't going anywhere with you.
Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever.
They who?
That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins.
But we don't care about our skins.
Hold on now. I like my skin.
This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him.
Who?
Walt.
You don't get to talk about my dad.
You know your father and I were friends back before
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
all of this.
That's a lie.
It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it.
And my dad said no.
Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What?
You really don't know. My Gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose.
Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would
The
she?
color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What?
Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today.
And honestly, hers was way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what she is messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy.
I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square.
The fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source. What the heck is the source? She tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run? Where? Away. As far from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So... We're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. That sounds like it hurts. Honestly, I wouldn't want to take that. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8.
Yep. Juniper, or the woman who claims she is Juniper, explodes something and then the town goes froze. Oopsie daisies.
The cold, hard truth.
And this, dear chat, is where we end today's section of the story. We have seen an interesting branch. We have learned interesting things. This game is completely crazy. Choose your own adventure like I've never seen or read before. And honestly, my voice could use a rest. So thank you guys for joining me today on this crazy adventure in Beacon Pines. But unfortunately, we must end the stream here. I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time, so if you'd like to see more of this crazy story, please join me again tomorrow at 1. Follow me here, throw on notifications, and that will tell you when I go live, or alternatively, you can follow me over on Twitch, handle on the screen, link down below somewhere, and turn on notifications there so that you also can see that I go live and check out all the untamed fanfiction retweets I do on occasion. If you have missed any of the story, any of the choices we have made so far, any of the bad ends we have found, feel free to jump over to YouTube and check out the VOD. The playlist is already live and waiting for there for you for your free time. Also, past streams are sitting there in case you want my company anytime, day or night, because that's where you will find it. Subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll always know when the VODs go live. Winter Fairy, I would love to save the game, except this game autosaves, so I don't have to do anything. There's no save option. It just is, we pick up where we stop. See, no, there's a new game, there's exit, but there's no save games, so it is what it is. But yes, I am a streamer, and as a streamer, I like to, but thank you for the save the game. I do appreciate that, Winter Fairy. As a streamer, I like to support my fellow streamers. So, it looks like Daniel Gaming is playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Not my particular game, but it's something completely different from the intensity we've been dealing with. So, please support my friend Daniel in all of his Call of Duty fun. We are going to raid his channel, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're subscribed to me, you can use my emotes to give him all the love when you get there. But with that all being said, we raid in 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye!